Sensory acuity. High level of sensory awareness, our internal thinking is reflected by physiology and behaviour. Sensory acuity is almost like using an intuition. So you go home and you pretty much know what your partner's thinking without even saying a word. You go to a meeting and you've got an inclination in terms of what people think and feel. Okay, now what's really important, what are some of the signals that we know, okay, that change within people? Eye movements, pupil dilation, skin tone. When people get embarrassed, skin tone changes. Body language, okay? How do we know when someone's not, how do you know when someone's not happy? Pretty much through our senses, through body language. They don't need to tell you they're not happy. You know. So using our sensory acuity to refine ourselves as a coach, or to refine our ability to read people and read situations, is a very powerful tool that we can use. Communication, we cannot not communicate. Most of what we communicate is body language, 55%, tonality, voice, how we say it is 38%, words is only 7%. Okay? We know if someone is feeling bad or great just by their body language. I mean, years ago, when the emphasis in coaching was to give praise, and coaches were told to give people praise, what they would do, the coaches, they would just stand there and give praise. It was like, well done, well done. And it didn't really mean a great deal, because the words were right, but the body language wasn't, and the tonality wasn't. So being congruent and using our body language for a positive outcome as well. Submodalities is really important. It's how we process information through our senses. So we see pictures. When we if you recall an event in your mind, you'll have pictures associated to the event. You'll have sounds. And what happens when you watch a scary film? You know it's not real, but your palms get sweaty, your heart starts racing. What I want you to do as an exercise is, first of all, think of a pleasant experience that you've had, and notice what you see, what you hear and feel, and where you are, and the images in your mind. And after you've thought of a pleasant experience, think of a mildly uncomfortable experience. And think of what you see, what you hear, and what you feel. Okay? So we process information through submodalities, through our senses. Now, we can do one of two things. As a coach, we can use these senses to help people associate to more productive behavioral patterns, and we can also change these perceptions with people who might have images which are causing trauma at a certain level. Okay, so think of someone who might be, think of that mildly uncomfortable situation you thought about. If you were to think about it again and you drained all the colour, you pushed it further away to the size of a postage stamp, you turned the sounds down, how intense would that image be? Far less intensive than it would be originally. And think about if you replaced it completely with a more positive image, one that was really positive, made you feel great. It altered the perspective of the image completely.